If you think having visible abs means you are safe from dangerous levels of body fat, Darren's story is about to shock you. I've reviewed hundreds of DEXA scans and thousands of blood panels, and his results remain one of the most deceptive and concerning that I've seen to date. In this video, I will show you how a man who looked reasonably lean in the mirror was actually carrying over 2 stones of fat wrapped around his organs, which was very likely leading him to an early grave, and I'll show you how he eliminated it in only 6 months. Stay with me because Darren's results are mind-blowing, and if you follow what I'm about to say, you'll be able to achieve something similar for yourself. The fitness world has been lying to men for years. We've been conditioned to believe that if you stay active, keep your waistline under control, and maybe see a hint of abs, then you must be healthy. Darren proved how dangerously wrong that belief can be. Because in his case, the outside was a complete illusion. His DEXA scan told a very different story. It showed him at over 28% body fat, with over 2 stones of fat packed into his trunk. Not the surface fat you can pinch. I am talking about visceral fat sitting deep inside his body. Fat that behaves like a toxic insulation blanket wrapped around his organs. Fat that you do not see until it's too late. And this is exactly why so many men think they are fine until their blood work explodes with metabolic problems. Darren looked like the kind of guy who would get a reasonably clean bill of health. He ran a construction business, moved all day, kept busy, stayed relatively lean. Yet inside, his liver was inflamed. His blood sugar markers were climbing into dangerous territory. His lipids were pointing toward early cardiovascular disease, and his hormones were tanking every single day. But if you put him next to a clearly overweight guy, most people would assume Darren was the healthier one. But in reality, he was the opposite. Darren's issue was not age. It was not calories. It was not metabolism slowing down. The real issue was metabolic burnout created from years of self-neglect and abuse. He had invisible deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, and inflammatory triggers that put the handbrake on everything. And until those hidden issues were addressed, no amount of dieting or training was ever going to work. Darren's problems had occurred for 6 primary reasons. Firstly, the nightly alcohol cycle. Darren drank every single night to unwind, to relax, to cope. But alcohol is like pouring molasses into your metabolism. It slows liver function, elevates inflammation, destroys recovery, and traps fat inside the cells. His blood work showed it clearly. All the signs of fatty liver disease and metabolic syndrome. Secondly, refined sugars and baked goods. He ate convenience foods all day. Cakes, bars, processed snacks. These foods behave like accelerants. They drive visceral fat straight into the organ cavity like someone stuffing insulation into a wall. Calm on the outside, chaos inside. Darren's primary metabolic markers like HbA1c, fasting glucose, and triglycerides were all sky high. Thirdly, systemic inflammation. His CRP was through the roof. His monocytes were high too. These are the alarm bells of chronic inflammation. When the body is inflamed, fat loss becomes biologically impossible. The body protects, stores, and slows. Number 4, liver stress and early fatty liver disease. His liver enzymes were pointing toward fatty liver. The liver is the command center of energy production. When the liver slows down, fat loss slows, testosterone drops, and fatigue climbs. Darren was living in that slow lane every single day without even realizing. Number 5, his cortisol was through the roof from years of long working hours, stress, alcohol, and poor sleep, which had all turned his cortisol into a pressure cooker. High cortisol locks fat into the trunk like a survival mechanism. This is why he could not lose weight no matter what he tried. And because his cortisol rhythm was so skewed, he'd wake up exhausted every single day, dragging himself out of bed, and then be wired and tired at night, unable to fall asleep. Number 6, testosterone collapsing. His testosterone was on the floor. Most men assume this means they need TRT, but in Darren's case, as is the case with so many men, the root cause of the issue was from inflammation, stress, alcohol, and visceral fat. Putting him on TRT would have been like placing a sticker over the engine warning light on your car and continuing to floor the accelerator. Fix the stressors and the hormones rise naturally. And that is exactly what happened with Darren. Darren was not lazy. He was not weak. He was not falling apart because of his age. He was living the same lifestyle most busy men live. Long hours, convenience foods, poor sleep, drinks at night, constant stress, then wondering why no progress ever stuck. When Darren entered the Alpha 21 program, we stopped guessing. We ran his blood work through our blood optimization system. We pinpointed the exact metabolic blocks holding him back. Then we rebuilt him from the inside out. We reduced his refined sugars, cut back the nightly alcohol cycle, optimized his fats with the correct balance of monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, and saturated sources. We corrected his deficiencies, supported his liver, rebalanced his hormones through lifestyle lifestyle-based interventions. And in just 6 months, everything changed. Visceral fat completely eliminated. Liver back into healthy ranges. Inflammation completely gone. Insulin sensitivity restored. Cardiovascular risk reversed. Testosterone back in the optimal range. His energy and motivation was back online. In Darren's own words, I feel like I've added 15 years to my life, if not more.
Just living a longer, healthier life and feeling alive again and not depressed and miserable. My name's Darren Hardman. I lost 29 kilo whilst being on the programme. I actually finished the programme 10 months ago. I've been going it alone. I feel amazing. Everything I learned over the 15 months on the programme has just taught me how to just move forward. The biggest thing the programme's given me is just a full new mindset, understanding of health and nutrition. It's not just about the aesthetics of how you look, it's about more of the mental clarity. When I was starting the programme, was drinking 7 days a week, low energy, bad-tempered, definitely the just low motivation, no go in me to drive the business or anything I did. Putting it bluntly, it wasn't good at all. Gut health, just everything. I was border diabetic, you name it, it was on that list.
And yes, the after photo here is real. Now, you may be thinking, surely he was on TRT. No, his testosterone improved because we addressed the root issues that had caused the decline in the first place. And there were plenty of them. Did he starve himself? No, he ate more strategically, not less. For most of the time, he actually struggled to consume the amount of food we recommended for him. Did he live in the gym? No, he trained efficiently no more than 4 times per week and let his biology work for him rather than against him. Focusing on recovery was more important for Darren than endless hours of overexerting. Listen, Darren's transformation is not a miracle. It's the result of precision. It's an exceptional result, no doubt, but we've done this countless other times with thousands of men. When you stop guessing and start addressing the root issues, your body responds fast. But here's the truth. The mainstream system is not designed to make you healthy. It's designed to keep you tired, stressed, and compliant. It's designed to get you on medication for life. That's why 90% of men will be regarded as normal despite suffering with a whole host of underlying issues. But once you learn how to switch your biology back on, everything changes. And if you've watched this far, that tells me that you're not the type of man to just settle for poor personal standards. It tells me that in some way you are looking for a solution to a problem that you've not been able to solve thus far. And I want to reassure you that there is a fix. And I've got 2 options for you. If you're ready and determined to take back control now, then click the link in the description and book yourself in for a free functional health assessment call with one of our consultants so we can help you understand the underlying issues that may be holding you back. Or on the other hand, if you're not ready for that right now, then simply click subscribe and stay tuned because I share videos every single week that will help you take back control of your body and health as a man over 35. Don't settle for the usual route of chronic illness, medications, and loss of control of your body like most men do. It doesn't have to be that way.